Hello, and welcome back to Ikebana with Flower Child Studio. I'm your teacher, Ava. So for today's lesson, we're going to be going over the Nageire style again. We had previously gone over the Nageire in the basic upright, and today we're going to be going over the Nageire in the basic slanting style. And just a reminder, we're going to be using the same mechanic that we did last time, which is the Jumonji-dome. And that's where you take two komis and you crisscross them and you make a little crossbar section. And then that is our mechanic. And just as a reminder, this is what it looks like on the inside of your tutu. So it's a crossbar section. I'm going to go over how we're going to do it, but just what it looks like. So to start, you're going to get a branch and you're going to make your two komis. And how you do that is you measure the width of the mouth of the container, and you leave one side flat and the other side's going to be at an angle. So this is the flat side. So I always leave just a little bit extra room. Okay. Because then, it happens to me all the time, but then you cut it too short and then you have to cut another one. Okay. So here's this, and I think just cut it just a little bit more, it should fit. And again, how you place the komi in is you put the flat side into the one side of the wall of the container, and then the side that's at an angle, you use that and you push it in and you smash it up against the side of the wall of the container, like that. Okay, so we have the one komi in, so now we're gonna make the other. So I just turn it, and again, I'm just gonna cut this one so it's flat, and then the other side we're going to cut at an angle. So figure about the width, okay. And then we're going to take the flat side, and it's going to go underneath the first one we made. So you don't put it on top, you put it underneath. This should fit, maybe just a little shorter. So it goes underneath, and then you smash the other angled side into the side of the container, and then it can hold like that. So that is our mechanic for today. And it takes a little getting used to doing this style mechanic, but practice makes perfect. So just keep trying it. So, okay. And so this is going to be the slanting style. And if you remember from the Ikebana slanting style, the shin and the soy, they're going to be exchanging position. So our shin before was 10 to 15 degrees off center. It's now going to be 45 degrees. And that is going to be our longest branch. So this is way too long, but I'm gonna go with this one for our shin. And I'm just going to, before I start measuring, I'm gonna start cutting because this is way too big. So first let's cut this off. Okay, put this off to the side, cut this, which we can use some of these side branches we can use for our jushi. Okay, so this is slanting style. So it's nice to, have a nice curve to it. So I like this line going here, but this is there's too much going on. So we're gonna have to take some of this out. So let's take this out. This one's too long, and then this one as well. There again, we wanna open up the space. We wanna be able to see the space. And then also, you see the top of this branch, it's going into a V. So that's distracting. We don't want that. So we're gonna have to choose which side we wanna cut. So I'm gonna cut this one off. It's just too distracting that there's two. So there again, opening up the space like that. So that looks nice. There's another V also with this. So I'm gonna cut one more off there we go. So it's one continuous line. So that looks pretty. Okay, so this is going to be our shin. So to measure it, I always say, don't go from the very tippy top. So we're gonna go with the height of the container plus the width. So here's the size of our container, the height and the width. And then we're gonna add onto that 1/2. So 1/2 of this, so that would be here. So from here to the top, this is what we want to be coming out of the container. But we have to remember we have part of it going in. So let's cut this so we can kind of see what's going on here. Put this off. Okay, so we want it to go, and it's gonna be going 45. So that's 45. So we wanna cut it right around here. And sometimes it's nice to look at it from the outside of the container first so you can figure how much you want to cut. So cut about here, and then, we can always cut a little bit more too, so you're not locked in with this length. So there we go. Kind of get that off, clean it up a little bit. Take these off because we don't want this to go into the water because that makes our water dirty. We don't want that, so take those off. Okay, and we're gonna wanna cut our stem underwater. Okay, like that. Okay, so, and we want this to go 45 degrees off center. So, this would be 10 to 15, but it's going 45. So, first I like to see, because it's resting on the inside of the crossbar fixture. So sometimes, sometimes you have to turn it around, turn the crossbar around to see which one it fits in best. And also, I've said before, this one looks like it wants to stay, so that looks good. But, if you're having trouble, you can always do the double mechanic, and that's where you take your branch. I'll just demonstrate on this one. You take your branch, and if it was cut at an angle like that, and then you can split it up the middle like that, and then you can rest it. I'll just use this as an example. You can put it over the crossbar fixture and use it like that too. If you're having trouble and it keeps rolling around, you can always use that as the double mechanic. And it's really, it's a really secure mechanic. So this one looks though like it's staying pretty well. So, okay. So here's our shin, so 45. And then our soy is going to be 3/4 of our shin. So there again, just take, because this is pretty long, just take these extra ones off the bottom. So it's gonna be 3/4. So looking, I guess, right about almost where my finger is, I think that would be good. So, and there again, take these out here, take them out, because we don't want them going into the water. Okay, so 3/4. So, and this is going to be 10 to 15 degrees off center. So it's gonna be standing upright. So maybe a little bit shorter actually. So right about here. So let me cut our stem, and then I'm gonna cut it underwater. Turn that. So also, when you're cutting it, you're cutting the stems at an angle. You wanna cut the angle for what's going to be resting on the side wall of the container. So that helps it stay into place. And, I'm not sure if this one's gonna wanna stay up. I'm gonna do the double mechanic on this one to help hold it into place. So that's like that. Let me give it a fresh cut here. And then there again, here's our double mechanic. We cut it at an angle, then we're going to split it up the middle. And I always say with this, when you're splitting it, you're holding your stem in your branch in one hand and you're splitting it with the other. Just go slow so you don't, cut yourself. So just easy does it. Okay, so that looks split. Okay, so then we're going to rest this like that. And then it nicely holds into place. So this is our soy, and because they exchanged position, this is going to be 10 to 15 degrees off center. So you figure here's the center, so 10 to 15 degrees off center to the left, and then 10 to 15 degrees forward. So just about there. So yeah. Oh, go a little too much. That's okay. Our comey came undone, so just put it back. That can happen sometimes, so don't worry about it. Okay, so let's put this back in. Here is our shin. Here is our soy. Turn it around. So you just have to find the right place. Everyone in the right place. These are trickier arrangements to do. You have to find, like I said, just the right spot for everyone to fit. So I think I might do the double mechanic on our shin as well, just to keep it moving here. So, okay, so like that, and that stays way easier into place. So let's make things easier on ourselves. So, all right, this one's a little bit more wobbly. That's okay. I'm gonna split it just a little bit more. I think that's what it needs. Okay, so there we go. So here is our shin. Excuse me, this is our shin. So it's 45 degrees off center, and then here is our soy, and it's 10 to 15 degrees. So now our next main line is going to be our hakai, and our hakai is going to be going 75 degrees off center, and it's going in the opposite direction, and it's going to be 3/4 of our soy. So let's figure about 3/4. And again, you cut the stems of the flowers. When they're going into a nigiri container, you're going to be cutting them at an angle. So just to remember that. It's gonna be going 75. So just kind of find the right placement for it, like that. Okay, so here are our main lines, shin, soy, and hakai. And now we're going to add our jushis and we're going to put in our focal point. So I believe I said in the last video, really because the mouth of the container is narrow, you really don't need a lot of material for your jushis because there's just really not the space to put it. So just remember that as you're putting them, as you're adding your jushis and your focal point in. And sometimes it's nice to give it just a little bend, a little massage. It kind of helps it. If the material likes it, give it a little massage. It helps it stay into place better. So there again, just find the right place, just like that. And just add a few in before I add my flowers in. And I took a lot of stems off, so I have a lot of options here for the jushis. So, but also just remember, we don't want any of our jushis to be as long as our 3 main lines. So again, take the leaves off. If it's going to be going into the water, don't have leaves on it because we want to keep our water clean. That helps the arrangement to last longer. So I'm just going to add maybe just one up in the front, and then I'll start adding our focal point flowers like that. Okay, I kind of wanted to move over there. So there we go. Okay, so here are our flowers. So these are really pretty, and these are kind of the guard petals, but I still think they're really pretty. So I'm gonna leave some of these on. It helps really give a nice openness to the rose. So, and again, we don't want it to be as long as our hakai because then they're competing with each other. We don't want that. So let's cut it shorter, and you're just gonna add it in, and there again, just kind of find the right spot for it. That'll work. That's nice. Oh, it's gonna pop. That's okay. And really with this technique, all of the flowers and the material and the branches, they're starting to get interlocked. So then that helps them stay into place. So there's that one. And then maybe add some more of our jushi in on the other side. Which one? Sometimes, you have so many, there's like too many to choose from. So that can happen. Okay. So again, get the stems clean and get the leaves off. Okay, so maybe just add in a little on this side too, just to help fill it in a little bit. That looks nice. And yeah, those leaves are okay. Okay, so I'm going to add in our second flower. And, I like to add the flowers in kind of, you don't want them at the same exact height. So this one's gonna be a little shorter. And also, you have to kind of get used to when you're putting flowers into a nigiri container, you think it's like, oh, I'll put it in like this. It's not, the flower stem is not going to the bottom of the container. It's resting up against the side. So you're actually cutting the flowers a lot shorter than you think you're going to have to. So just keep that in mind because, that's okay. You can give the flower stems a little massage as well too. There we go. Sometimes it just wanted to jump out. That's okay. This one here. I've noticed at my in-person classes, when we do the nigiri style, a lot of times people, they keep the stems really long, and it's like, no, you have to cut them shorter because, if I left this as is, it would be sticking out right here. So you have to cut it a lot shorter than you think you will. So I'm just gonna take that leaf off. So actually gonna go in like this. And just like that. Sometimes it rolls, it just has to find the right place. And there we go. So here's our focal point flowers right there. And because these roses have these nice leaves on them, maybe take that one off. But you don't need as many of the jushi to come up in the front because we have the leaf. So maybe just add just a few more jushis. Okay. But I think it's looking pretty good. It doesn't need too much more. So add just a little bit there again to create that dimension to the arrangement. So there's the arrangement here, but it's going all the way from the front and it's continuing into the back. So I think it's looking pretty good. So here is our basic slanting style in the nigiri. So here is our shin, here is our soy, here's our hakai, here's our focal point and our jushis. And remember, this one, they switched position. So the shin is longer, but it's switched with the soy. So it gives a different perspective and a different dimension, which is really fun. So I hope everyone enjoyed the class. And really, as you're studying Sogetsu Ikebana, once you learn the basics and then they start switching positions, and you start learning the variations of the basic upright and the basic slanting, they're really fun and exciting to design. So please stay tuned for more. So thank you very much for today's class. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them down below. And if you're in the San Francisco Bay Area, please come and visit us at Flower Child Studio in San Francisco. Thank you very much.